Hippity hoppity, welcome to my property, and my name is Carl the Kangaroo. If you haven't noticed already, I am a pencil case that was bought in Australia. Which is pretty crazy if you think about it, because that means that if you wanted, you could go onto Amazon and buy yourself your very own version of me. Anyway, that existential crisis aside, welcome to my channel. This is Carl the Kangaroo, where I, as a kangaroo, talk about humanity and deep philosophical questions. Now, of course, I'm a kangaroo, so I can't claim to know too much about humanity and philosophical questions themselves, but I want to discuss it anyway. So let's get right into it. You've seen the title of this video. We are obviously kicking off this channel with a very deep and profound question, which is, of course, what is the meaning of life? Now, I tend to drone on and on and on when you get me started on a topic. So just sit back, put this video on the background, and just play a brainless video game, or do a brainless doodle, or any other similarly brainless activity, and enjoy this humble kangaroo's take on the meaning of life. Every inquiry has to start somewhere. So let's start this one by answering the question, what is life first? As we first need to understand something in order to figure out its meaning. So well then, what is life? Well, in the New Oxford American Dictionary, life is defined as 1. The condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change preceding death. I mean, that's a mouthful, but it's a start. It gives us the physical definition of life and even mentions death, which is a very important constant in our discussion. The second definition is a lot simpler. It simply says that life is the existence of an individual human being or animal. And now the rest of the definitions in the New Oxford American Dictionary are relatively similar. If you're curious, feel free to look it up for yourself. The second definition uses the word existence, which I think is the real topic here. In other words, I think that we're actually answering the question, what is the meaning of existence? Not the question, what is the meaning of life? Well, what's the difference? I mean, a dead person has meaning, right? Think about it. The people they affected, the things that they did during their life. They have a spiritual purpose, even after not living. The same is true with unborn children. The joy that they give to their parents, the hope that they symbolize. They're not in life yet, but they still serve such a great purpose. Of course, for our purposes, we'll mostly be talking about living people anyway. But it's still good to clarify that we're talking about the meaning of existence, not necessarily, if mostly, life. Now that we have that long detour out of the way, it's time to face the elephant in the room. What is the meaning of existence? I first want to mention the simplest way to get to the answer, religion. If you're religious like me, then this question should be quite simple for you, to serve whatever God you believe in. But for atheists, this can be quite an unsatisfactory answer, and it's no wonder why. Besides, this video isn't even about religion. I might make another video on that later. From a more philosophical perspective, the meaning of existence can be found right here in your everyday life. What do you do in your life that makes you happy? This might be playing a game, doing your job, spending time with family and friends. It's quite easy to just say that this is your purpose, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if that answer is enough for you, firstly, why are you even here? You already know your purpose. And if that answer is enough for you, then you should click off this video now. Go fulfill your purpose and enjoy it, because what's about to come next might ruin it for you. I'll give you 3 seconds. Goodbye. The reason why I said you should stop watching this video if you think you've already found your purpose is because, well, in my opinion, there is no purpose in life. I mean, think about it. If there was an inherent purpose to existence, why would so many minds greater than my own fret over this question without an answer? How do some people find their meaning in life, but some people just don't? From the way I see it, finding the meaning of existence is just a concept that we use to describe the state of happiness. After all, that's what makes humans feel like they found their purpose, right? When they're happy. So the key to achieving this concept of meaning of existence is quite simply to just be happy. But how do you do that? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you already knew that while coming into this video. So what are we missing? Now, I'm really gonna go out there and go as far as to claim that happiness itself does not exist. I know, pretty crazy. But I'm not saying that you can't be happy. Of course you can be happy. And I still stand by the point that being happy is what we call finding your purpose. What I'm saying is that the state of true happiness, perfect bliss, cannot exist. It's like a utopia. Because no matter what you do, you could always be happier. Even if you're the happiest person in the whole world, there is something that can make you happier. You can never be as happy as can be. And because of that, if being happy is your purpose, can you really find your purpose? And if you can, how happy do you need to be to say you've found your purpose? There are just too many holes in this logic, which is why I'd like to conclude that a true meaning of existence doesn't exist. Just like happiness, you can be fulfilled and can be more and more fulfilled as you become happier, but will never completely be fulfilled, if that makes sense. But now I'll get to the real point of this video. I'm not here to tell you that life is meaningless and you should give up on everything. On the contrary, I'm here to deliver a positive message. Because if you think about it, the fact that you won't never truly be happy is only good news. It means that, in other words, the amount of happiness you can feel is boundless. Isn't that great news? So yes, I do in fact believe that the point of existence, to the individual at least, is to be happy. But at the same time, I also believe that the universe doesn't give you a purpose to begin with. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you have to make your own purpose. And for you, that's easy now, because I've already told you that all you need to do is be happy, especially as a young person. Don't care too much about the future or your successes, but just do what you enjoy as much as you can. That's your purpose. And if what you enjoy happens to help you in the long run, that's even better. Be happy and, more importantly, maintain that happiness. If you can maintain that happiness, then congratulations, you've basically beat life. Now, before I end this video, there's one last thing that I want to address. Earlier, I mentioned death. Death is the looming factor that, in the end, drives our everything. If death didn't exist, we wouldn't need to search for the point in life, because we'd just be able to do everything and anything as much as we wanted. Even if death, to you, is so far away that you can't even think about it right now, if you subconsciously knew that you would never, ever die, would you need to try hard in anything? What if you never die, but everyone around you never died either? Life would just freeze. Everything would stay the same, and the pursuits of the individual wouldn't matter at all, because you have all the time in the world. And even if it's hard to face, ultimately, it's time that drives so much of what we do. The clock that's known as death, even 50, 60, or 70 years in the future, still looms over us, telling us to do all we can in our years that we have left while we still can. Otherwise, why would you do anything? You could just leave it for later. If you're still unsure what I mean, because it is kind of confusing, I strongly suggest that you go read the book Scythe by Neil Shusterman. It's a dystopian trilogy that explores fascinating concepts regarding not only life and death, but also artificial intelligence, as well as religion, if you're interested. On that note, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I hope you enjoyed, thanks for watching, and remember to stay happy.